Today I'm going to share with you my Accutane survival kit that saved my skin, and it's going to get your skin looking better in 1 week. To get started, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with Accutane. If you're not interested, you can jump to chapter 2. That's where the survival kit starts. Before I started taking the pill, I researched online. I researched thoroughly because I was like, I don't want to suffer on this and I want to prepare. I looked on Reddit, I searched on different blogs, YouTube channels. I got myself ready. I got all the knowledge I needed, or I thought I needed, to get started. I went to the doctor, he prescribed it to me, and I started taking it. Month 1, I was like, this thing is not making my skin dry. What are people talking about? I feel great. No side effects whatsoever. And I have this friend who had a different experience. So she was calling me and she's like, how are you doing? How is your skin reacting? And I'm like, perfect, no problem. I don't even know if this thing is working. One day it hit me. At the end of my first month, I started noticing that my skin was peeling like crazy after the shower. So I would take a shower, wash my face, and then afterwards, when I would dry it, all my skin is on a towel. Gross. But after the skin fell off, I would look in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, this is new skin and it looks beautiful. And I was digging it and people were commenting on it. Oh, your skin looks so glowy and beautiful. I was like, this is great. What are people talking about? Dry skin? I just have like very nice, shiny, beautiful skin. This thing rocks. I think because of my age and because I'm married, people are like, wait, you're not drinking because you can't drink on Accutane and your skin is glowing. So I got all these questions. Are you pregnant? No, it's just Accutane. So if you are in the same age group as me, I'm 33, and people are expecting you to have kids, just be ready for all those questions. Anyways, I thought I'm better than this. I'm not gonna get dry skin. Like, I'm moisturizing religiously. I did my research and people are just crazy and dramatic, and I'm gonna out moisturize this thing, putting sunscreen, not standing in the sun. I was doing everything. But then one day we went to a friend's house. I didn't bring my moisturizer and we were just gonna do a barbecue. I'm like, I'm not bringing moisturizer. I'm gonna bring my sunscreen, my hat, my shirt. I'm gonna stand under the umbrella. It's gonna be fine. And no, that's when my skin decided that it was time to teach me a lesson. Even though I was under the umbrella, covered in sunscreen, wearing long sleeve shirt, it was like a very, very sunny day. The brim of my hat, it only casted a shadow here. So when I was moving around, I was catching some sun right on my chin. And oh my God, the day's going, everybody's having fun. I'm looking depressed in the corner because, like, why am I not in the pool? But I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. I know that I'm not supposed to be in the sun. I'm gonna be under my little umbrella. I'm not depressed. I'm here, I'm chilling, come hang out with me. At some point, I start feeling my skin getting tighter right here on the chin. And I'm like, what the is happening? And I go to the bathroom to take a look. And the skin looks like this wrinkly, thin, ready to burst skin, but covered in sunscreen. I'm just gonna put more sunscreen and more sunscreen. But the sunscreen doesn't really hydrate the skin very well. The skin is just getting dry. It keeps getting drier. By the end of the night, this is painful. And when I get home, I am so uncomfortable. I do a face mask, moisturize. And this is when I realized that, yes, my skin's gonna look like garbage if I don't take care of it. And taking care of it is not just moisturizing in the morning and moisturizing at night. This thing is powerful. Moisturizing in the morning and night is just regular regimen. For this, you must moisturize during the day, especially if you're staying in a place that's sunny, and you should get a bigger hat. So after that day, I realized that I needed something more robust. And my dermatologist told me when we started, I asked him, like, what should I do in terms of skincare? And he's like, just keep it very simple, not a lot of products. But he didn't really give me details. Oh, moisturize in the morning, moisturize in the day, and use this moisturizer and like this serum. And he didn't say anything. And I asked him, I was like, oh, is my moisturizer okay? He's like, oh, it's okay. Is my sunscreen okay? He's like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel like he has time to really explain these things to me. I use health insurance and I feel like my health insurance doesn't pay the dermatologist very well, or any other doctor, because every consultation I have is usually so fast. And I honestly don't feel comfortable just having that conversation, that deep conversation where I ask, can we build a skincare routine together? So then after that, I decided that I was going to build the ultimate skincare routine and be prepared for everything so that I wouldn't go through this again. And that's how the survival kit started. So I researched a lot. I went on online forums, Reddit. I asked ChatGPT, Perplexity. I did research on videos on YouTube from dermatologists, and I compiled everything. I got down to like a couple of products of each category, and I tested them, figured out cost benefit and what worked for me, and I built the survival kit. And now I'm going to share with you what are the products that work for me. And these products are all for sensitive skin. I made sure that everything is not harsh for someone who's going through an Accutane treatment. So we're going to start with lips. Lips are the part of your body they're going to get the driest, especially on the corners and around the lips. You must moisturize all the time. This is all day long. For that, I use Aquaphor, and that's what most people use, and that's for a reason. Aquaphor is really good. It will provide that moisture. You will make sure your lips don't crack. They might still crack, but it helps with preventing that. I actually have my Aquaphor here. This one is the one that I use when I'm around sun. So I like to use the one with SPF. So this one is SPF 30. But if I'm not in the sun, I just use the tub of Aquaphor that doesn't have SPF. It's cheaper. This is more expensive. The tub is going to last you forever. And I look like a clown most of the time when I'm home. I tell my husband, just please don't judge me because I put it all over. It's like a lot. My skin sometimes looks ridiculous because I put so much. But it's good to do extra to make sure that you don't hurt yourself because you could get hurt. Your skin gets so dry that like you don't moisturize and you sneeze, that's it. You cut your lip. And the reason why I like SPF is because Aquaphor is made of petroleum jelly. It's a little oily and I'm kind of scared that like I'm gonna get sunburned with it if I'm in the sun. So I think that if you're going to be outside, it's important to have SPF. Now, another thing I use for my lips, this one is a little bit more expensive, but it works, is the Laneige, I hope I'm saying that right, lip mask. It's a sleep lip mask. You put on before you go to sleep, and then when you wake up, your lips are nice and moisturized. And I honestly use that during the day too, sometimes when my lips feel really dry. When it's like the worst case scenario and I'm like, my lips are completely destroyed, I will put that on and then I'll put Aquaphor on top before I go to sleep, looking like a clown, but I wake up feeling so much better. So these are my 3 go-to products for my lips. Now, before I start talking about the products I use on my face and on my eyes, just make sure to like and subscribe so you keep getting more content like this. My channel is all about sharing my experience and research with you. I talk about anything related to health, beauty, lifestyle, and I don't gatekeep. So if you want real talk, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so back to the survival kit. For my face and eyes, I use a bunch of moisturizers and cleansers, and I'm gonna go through all of them. If you want links to these products, I have my Accutane survival kit in PDF form, and I'm gonna link it right on the description of the video. So there you can find everything, and I even added like the steps, what comes first and then after, and you can build your own routine around that. The first thing I do is I wash my face with the La Roche-Posay cleanser. And this cleanser, it doesn't strip the oils from your face. Like it helps keep the skin barrier. So that's why I like it. It's very gentle. It's not very expensive. It's less than $20 and it's a pretty big bottle. So my second product is the Garnier Micellar Water. And that's good for sensitive skin, and it helps cleanse the skin even more if you have any leftover makeup that didn't get cleaned the night before. It is for makeup as well, so instead of using a makeup remover, I use that. So after I cleanse my skin, I use this peptide serum from Ordinary, and that's really good to help keep your skin barrier healthy and also helps moisturizing. I wait for that to dry, then I put on moisturizer, and I use the CeraVe moisturizer. It's cheap, it works, it's very gentle on the skin. If you buy a tub of it, it's gonna last you for a while. And it also doubles as my body moisturizer. So I use the same moisturizer for my face and for my body, and it works perfectly. So after I moisturize my face, I use the La Roche-Posay eye cream that has hyaluronic acid on it. This one is a little bit pricier, but eye creams are always a little pricier, and it really works well. It's not harsh on your skin. It helps keep it moisturized and it also brightens it a little bit. So those are the products that I use on my face during the day. I also use sunscreen, but I'm going to talk about that a little later on the video. So now let's talk about the nighttime. So after I'm done for the day and I want to do my night skincare routine, I do the same exact thing. I use the same soap, I use the same micellar water, peptide. The only thing I change is the moisturizer. So for the moisturizer, I use the Neutrogena Hydra Boost. It's really good. It's like this thick moisturizer. It suits your skin. It feels amazing to sleep with that thing on. And it helps me not wake up with my skin falling apart. So I'm really bad at following a skincare routine, or at least I was really bad following a skincare routine before Accutane. But if you don't do your nightly moisturizing, you are going to wake up with your skin falling apart. I'm not joking. Like, this happens to me every time I forget. I have a couple of products that work really well for that SOS time when you really need something strong. So for moisturizing, I like to use this Korean face mask. I'm not going to try to say the name of it because it's Korean and I don't speak Korean, but I'm going to put it here on the screen. This mask is amazing. I leave it on my skin for like 30 minutes and my skin just sucks it all up. And it really helps with giving that extra moisture. And then after that, I will let it dry naturally. And then I'll put on more moisturizer and go about my day. So another product I use when my skin is really, really dry and I want to revive it is the Willetta Skin Food. I use that at night. Every once in a while when I have like a bad skin episode and I feel like my skin is just crumbly and nothing is really helping, I put that thing on. It's oily. You apply it, and I usually apply it right here. And the next day, your skin looks healthy. It doesn't look like it's crumbling anymore. You can also use it in your body. Like, I use it for my elbows when they're really dry. I only use it at night before I go to sleep. And the next day, my skin feels so much better. It really does work. So those were the products that I use on my face and on my eyes. For the body, I try to keep my product list very minimal because I don't want to spend tons of money. I use the same products that I use on my face on my body. So on my body, I'm using the CeraVe moisturizer, and for the SOS moments, I use the Willetta Skin Food. Now let's talk about body wash. Before Accutane, I was just using Dove. I thought it was good enough. When I started taking Accutane, I continued using Dove. I was like, oh, it's moisturizing. What could go wrong, right? But my arms started getting really, really dry and they felt like sandpaper. I was getting scabs and I was getting itchy. So I switched the Dove to the Bioderma shower oil. That completely changed the way that my skin felt. It was not dry anymore. Sometimes it would still get dry, and then I use all the other products that I have, the Willetta Skin Food. Obviously, I'm always moisturizing, but using a shower oil instead of a body wash really helped my skin feel more soft and not be so dry. And we got our little mascot here. Say hi, Wizard. He doesn't want to say hi, but let's talk about nose. For the nose, I like to use Aquaphor. This part of my nose, and the inside of my nose gets pretty dry. So I just put Aquaphor all over. I do not use my finger. I don't know why I did that. But I use a Q-tip. I have not gotten any nosebleeds, and I hear that this is a common issue that people have, is nosebleeds and Accutane. So just good old Aquaphor. Now let's talk about sun protection. I'm doing Accutane during summer, so I really, really need to take care of my skin and protect it from the sun because, as I told on my little story, even wearing a hat and sunscreen, I still got this part of my face here very, very dry after I was exposed to a sunny day outside. So what I use for my face is the La Roche-Posay tinted sunscreen. I'm going to put it here on the screen. This one is really good because I have marks from zits. It helps get your skin tone more even because it's tinted, so you don't have to wear makeup, and it also doesn't cause breakouts. For my body, I like to use the Eucerin sunscreen that has hyaluronic acid. The way that I found out about the sunscreen, it was actually like a while ago before Accutane was even on my mind. I was reading an article on Consumer Report about the best sunscreens to use, and this was ranked the #1. It's really good. It's a little weird because once you spray it, it kind of like bubbles. It hydrates your skin, and I haven't gotten sunburned while using it, so I definitely recommend this one. And there's another sunscreen I use for a body part that people forget about because you just don't think about these things. Only when you're on Accutane that you start thinking, where can I burn? And another place you can burn is on your head. So you should be using sunscreen on your scalp if you're going to be under the sun without a hat, which you shouldn't. You should be wearing a hat. But if I ever am in the sun without a hat, I'm using the Sun Bomb sunscreen for scalp and hair. I'm usually using a wide brim hat so I don't have to put sunscreen on my scalp. And I like to also use a nice long sleeve linen shirt so I don't have to keep putting on sunscreen on my arms. And my arms are usually the ones that get more sunburn anyways. Now let's talk a little bit about eyes. When you're in Accutane, you can get really dry eye, and it's important to choose the right eye drop for your eyes. Not all of them are good for you, or not all of them are good to use all the time. I learned a little bit about eye drops because a little while back, my husband was having some eye issues. We went to the ophthalmologist and he told him like, oh, you have dry eye. The air in our apartment is really dry, turns out. So we got also a humidifier, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. The ophthalmologist said, you must use this eye drop. And my husband was like, oh, can it be like any eye drop? And he's like, no, you need to use one that doesn't have preservatives, because some eye drops have preservatives on them. Some of them are not okay for continued use. I had no clue. So like if I was going into this blind, I would have gotten any from like CVS and just put it on my eye continuously. And that doesn't really help. That does more harm than help. So the one I use is proper for continuous use, and it will help you moisturize your eyes safely. And getting back to the humidifier, we also bought a humidifier, and I'm going to put it here on the screen. The humidifier is really great. Like if you have dry air, and I had no clue I had dry air. Shortly after my husband had the problem with his eye, then I started having eye twitching. So my eye was like this. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I was like, is it stress? And no, it was dry eye as well. So we bought the humidifier and it completely solved the problem. If you go to sleep with it next to your bed, it helps keep your skin nice and moist throughout the night. Now let's talk about hair. So for my hair, I like to use the Redken All Soft shampoo and conditioner. And one thing I learned from my dermatologist that I never heard about before is that you can use conditioner on your scalp. So I thought that conditioner was only for the length of the hair, but if you have dry scalp, you can massage it on your scalp to help moisturize it so it reduces the flaking. So I do that and that helps. Since my scalp is so dry, sometimes that's not enough. So what I will do is at night before I go to bed, if I'm going to wash my hair the next day, I put some jojoba oil. I massage, especially here. I have really dry sideburns and on my head, and I'll sleep with that. And then on the next day, I wash my hair, put the conditioner on, and then it solves it. Now let's finally talk about supplements. I take omega-3 right before I take Accutane. Accutane is supposed to be taken with fatty meals, so I think that, the fat from the omega-3 helps a little bit. I have my lunch, I take my little capsules of omega-3, and then I have my Accutane. And also Accutane is supposed to elevate your cholesterol, and omega-3 helps you keep your cholesterol healthy. And another thing I like to take is collagen peptide. In the same way that I put peptide on my face, I like to ingest it. It's good to keep your skin healthy. And there are 2 vitamins that I take that is to prevent having a deficiency, and that's vitamins B12 and D3. There are studies that show that Accutane actually lowers vitamin B12 in your system, so I supplement that. And since you're avoiding the sun, you can have deficiency of vitamin D3. So that's why I supplement it. I also take CoQ10, which helps relieve some of the symptoms that you can have with Accutane treatment. And the other supplement is Purple Tree. I started taking it before Accutane as a hangover cure thing. It was a friend of mine who's a doctor who actually told me to take it to cure a hangover. So while you're on Accutane, your liver is under a lot of stress because it's processing this heavy medication. And even if you don't drink, it still could be harsh on your liver. Purple Tree has supplements that you can take every day to support your liver. And if you're taking Accutane, you know that you're constantly testing for your liver enzymes, and this is going to help keep them in check so you can continue your treatment. I have only 2 more items on my survival kit. This one is the most important of all, honestly, for life, not just Accutane, and it's to have an insulated water bottle. I have always been a water bottle fan since I was a kid. I always had my little water bottle with me, and I don't understand how people drink from a cup, because like how many times you have to refill that cup. It's hard to keep track of how much water you're drinking and make sure that you're staying hydrated. With this, I just fill this bottle, I drink it. Once it's done, I refill it. It lasts for a while. I know that I have to drink 3 of these bottles at least a day, and for days that I don't drink enough water, which is very rare, I add some electrolytes to make sure that I absorb all that water. So before you go, I have this Brazilian skincare secret that I do. It didn't get into my Accutane survival kit because it's not a product. It only costs $1 and it's going to change your skin forever. I get people asking me all the time, how does your skin look so tight? How does it look so healthy? And I believe that this makes all the difference. So make sure to check that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you keep getting more content like this. And I see you when I learn some new stuff.